Middlewares in Node.js. Let's talk about that. So here I have the simple code for the Node.js server. Here I will write the code for the middleware. So before writing any code, let's try to understand what are middlewares. Suppose client sends a request to the server. Then server handles that request by sending it to the route handler, alright? Or we can say the controller. And after that, the client receives the response from the server. Now where comes the middleware? Before that request goes to the request handler, or we can say the controller, it gets to the middleware. So after sending the request from the client, it gets onto the middleware on the server, and then it goes to the route handler. So now we can say that middlewares in Node.js are the function that have access to the request and the response object and the next function into the application's request response cycle. So this is our server, and here I am writing a middleware to console log our request. So it will have access to the request and the response and then next function. Request response are the objects and next is the function. And then here I will console log simply the request received. And then here I will write the next so that it should not interrupt further execution of our Node.js server. Now let's run our server, npm run and then dev. So as you can see here, our server is listening to the port 3000. Now let's make a request onto this server. So here we have this Insomnia client. Now I will hit our localhost 3000. Let's click on this send button and you can see here we have the request received. If I make another request, then you can see again we have in the console request received. So before executing any further code onto our server, it first reaches onto the middleware. And middlewares are used to perform the tasks such as authentication, data validation, and more similar stuff.